This is the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast with Nick Cavins.
Hey everybody, welcome into another edition of the Greg Bedard Patriots Podcast, brought to you by Athletic Greens, that has 75 nutritional supplements all in one tasty drink. So a lot going on. Today is Monday. Sorry you didn't get a pod on Saturday. I taped one, but when we went back and listened to it, it sounded like I was Max Headroom. Really distorted Max Headroom for those of you from the 80s. And so we had to scrap it. And unfortunately, I couldn't do it. So just to recap, before we get to Monday's practice, I just want to touch on, it sort of sets the stage for Monday. I want to touch on Saturday's practice, which, you know, I'm sure you've heard by now that it was not good for the offense. Unfortunately, it was the first weekend practice, first Saturday practice. That's normally, the place is packed. People are going nuts. Everyone's cheering every single play because, you know, they're in a good mood, but it was pretty silent most of the practice. Why? Because the offense was not good at all. You know, yes, there were a few plays here and there, but including both 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s, Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi combined to go 19 of 42. Jones had his second interception in as many days. The offense lost their final goal line reps, both of them. Of the incompletions, there were 7 pass breakups, 6 sacks, drops by Hunter Henry, Pierre Strong, Devin Asiasi. Not good. When you go out to a training camp practice, pretty much the thing you want to see, if you're looking for good offense, is you don't want to see the ball hit the ground. You want it to be crisp, everybody catching the ball, good throws. But that was not the case. The ball was all over the place on the ground. It was sloppy. It was not good. But there was a big caveat with that. And I think it deserves mention that, look, Saturday's practice was the 4th consecutive practice, they're running pads, where they're working on red zone stuff. Day 1 was a heavy install day on that, and then they sort of added a little bit more here and there. So by the time you got to Saturday, it was the 4th day of red zone stuff, red zone routes, whatever. And in that confined amount of space, the end zone plus 5, 10, 15 yards, not a lot of real estate when you have 22 players on the field. And also, there's only so many routes that you can run. And so by the time you get to the 4th day, the defense has seen everything. And, that the offense struggled. And there could have been, I heard somebody else mention this, and this is, certainly viable, that they were working a little bit more on scramble stuff because the quarterbacks were running all over the place. Mac Jones wasn't wearing his knee brace. Maybe he knew that was going to be a point of emphasis. I think I heard Bob Sosi say something along these lines. So good job, Bob. I did not notice that. But I just, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not overreacting to that. Of course, somebody on Twitter, because I keep saying, don't overreact. He's like, nobody's overreacting. It's training camp. Yes. There are people who overreact to training camp. Yes, you might not, but there are people who do it. So that was Saturday. They had a day off on Sunday. They come out on Monday, first day in pads, first day of real camp. Here we go. The offense is going to answer right back. And in many ways, this practice could have been worse, or could have been worse than Saturday's practice. I put it this way, and I've already heard Felger and Mavs. Of course, they're running wild with it. But the way I termed it, first of all, let's set the stage. Because there are pads on, usually a very heavy emphasis on the run game. You got to get guys ready, get their body up to speed. Blocking, pads are on. A little bit of hitting, a little bit of thudding, just trying to get guys. It was a little bit shorter of a practice than normal, probably just because they didn't want to overdo it the first day in pads. So I understand. So heavy emphasis on the run game. We had talked about the first 4 practices. If you're looking for the Kyle Shanahan scheme, wasn't there. It was there today. So the first clue for me was when the Patriots broke off into basically a point of attack run blocking drill where you would have, usually an offensive lineman, a running back would get a ball, and there would either be a tight end or, somebody else, another offensive lineman who basically there would be two blocks at the point. The running back would read the blocks and the offensive line is trying to do their job, wall off the guys. The defenders are trying to defeat the block, two gap and get off. The way the Patriots ran it in this practice, it was an outside zone running drill. The Patriots have not run this version of this run game point of attack drill, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But I haven't seen it done this way. And to me, that was the first clue that here we go, outside zone. So they do that drill. And, while we're here on that, so basically you would get some, one-on-ones. And I thought that, I saw Cole Strange, the first round pick, left guard. He's going to start from day one. This was really his first rep of training camp in pads against another NFL defender. It was Christian Barmore. And I thought Cole Strange did a really nice job on that first snap. Got an angle, kept Barmore out of it. Again, Barmore's not the greatest run defender in the world. For those of you wanting Christian Barmore to all of a sudden be a no doubt starter, 3-down guy with the Patriots in his second season, so far we have seen no clues of that. He is decidedly on the second team when it comes to base defense. So Cole Strange handles him. Then his final rep, he goes up against Anthony Jennings, who I will say has been one of the surprises of camp to this point. He has shown up all the time, pass rushing in this drill, the run defense. He basically took Cole Strange and had his way with him. And that led to, Belichick coaching Cole Strange up. That would be, we would see a lot of that. Now, let's go back to where we were in practice. They're working on outside zone runs. So now they come to 11 on 11s. They're obviously working on outside zone runs and sort of short passing game off that, like boots. A lot of outside zone runs and, boots. This is Kyle Shanahan's bread and butter, first and second downs. And I have to tell you, and I'm not prone to hyperbole. I think you guys know that I tell you my honest opinion. And I have been covering NFL training camps. This is 2022. Since 2001. So we're talking 20 years that I've been covering NFL camps that range from the Miami Dolphins to the Green Bay Packers to traveling around and seeing NFL training camps as an NFL reporter, and also the Patriots when I was covering the Globe, and now back on the Patriots. So I've seen my fair share of good, bad, and ugly training camp practices. I have to tell you, this session that they ran, and there were 12 plays. It was one of the worst offensive periods I've ever seen at any camp. It was almost a complete disaster from soup to nuts. It started with Isaiah Wynn jumping off sides. The next play, Mac Jones threw an interception trying to go to Tyquan Thornton, he probably ran the wrong route. Not even close. Terrence Mitchell steps in front of it, picks it off. So that's now 3 consecutive practices that Mac Jones has thrown interceptions. Second play, Devon Godchow owns David Andrews, run stuff. Ramondre Stevenson goes outside zone left, a 2-yard run. Now in comes Bailey Zappi and the second team offense. Ramondre Stevenson stuffed by Anthony Jennings. Next play, decent left end outside zone run, positive play, probably 5 or 6 yards, so good run. And then Bailey Zappi off a play action overthrows Christian Wilkerson by a good margin, not even close. So in comes, for the final 3 plays, in comes Mac Jones and the first team offense. On the field, on defense, is the third team defense. All guys you have never heard of. including, another surprise, LeBrian Ray, defensive lineman. Keep an eye on him. Could be the next Adam Butler. So Mac Jones, first play against the third team defense. Here we go. Get some confidence. Run stuff. And that was Cole Strange got blown up by LeBrian Ray. Next play for no gain. Final play, stuffed by Harvey Lange. So that was the sum total of that session. It was, I think I termed it on Twitter an abject disaster. And it was. And, look, you're putting in a new scheme. You're not going to be the 1985 or 1984 San Francisco 49ers overnight running the outside zone. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to be the Denver Broncos of the 90s with Mike Shanahan. Not going to happen. So good news is they have nowhere to go but up. But I got to tell you, it was ugly. The only thing that it reminded me of, and I'm sure people are going to cringe at this, but I'm sorry. Of course, I did cover the Packers and the Patriots. Pretty good offenses, so I don't have a whole lot of bad offensive play to judge off of. But to me, it reminded me of Cam Cameron's first practices with the Miami Dolphins. That's how bad it was. And I mean that sincerely. So that's the first thing that you need to know. The second thing I will get to right after I tell you about Athletic Greens. I literally use this every day, every morning. I started taking AG1 because I was sick of buying all these different vitamins and pills and, should I eat this? Should I eat that? What should I drink? What it's all there. It's all there. With one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. The special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all those things. I love it. I take it first thing in the morning. I notice that I'm, more focused. I have energy. My digestion's working really well. I also love how with, my new diet and things like that contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, while still tasting good. It does. It tastes a little minty. You think green juice, it's going to be kind of gross. This is not. It's refreshing, actually. Right now is the time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop and a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. I just went on vacation, stuck the travel packs in my bag, get some water, boom, done, taken care of. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Bedard. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/Bedard. I've already heard from multiple podcast listeners who have already dialed it up. They're sending me pictures of stuff. Do that too. Send it to me on Twitter at Greg A. Bedard. Show me your picture with the Athletic Greens stuff. Give it a try. Just trust me. Give it a try and you'll like it. Take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Okay, so what else from today's practice? Let's talk about Cole Strange. First round pick. I've told you guys that I've been interested to see how he would look in pads because he does. What are the measurements that the Patriots have him as? They have him as Cole Strange, 6'5", 305. He is tall, 305 might be a little bit generous. You'd rather a 6'5" guy, you'd probably rather see him like 325, 330. That's been one of my worries. Like, how is he going to anchor? He's a little bit light in, as Nick Cattles would put it, the padunkadunk. But he's just a rookie. I mean, his body today is not going to be the same when he's year 5 and probably being an all-pro and stuff like that. But, plugging him in there, how's he going to do against NFL defensive tackles? And the Patriots have some of those. Lawrence Guy, Christian Barmore, Devon Godchow, blah, blah, blah. So we watched him very closely. Like I said, his first run blocking rep against Christian Barmore was good. Then it kind of went downhill. Jelani Tavai, who's a linebacker, stood him up. That got him some coaching from Bill Belichick. Belichick was basically like, telling him Belichick leaned forward like this. Like he likes to lead with his head a lot. Like he likes to be really aggressive. That's fine if you make contact, but these guys are pros. Like they see you coming like that, they'll just give way, and now you're off balance, and now they can do whatever they want with you. And that was one of the concerns about Cole Strange coming out, is that he can sometimes be, especially in the run game, too aggressive trying to block. And you see this with a lot of young linemen. They try to impose their will on people, and they just get ahead of their skis. Then Jennings pushed Strange down to the turf. This is in the run blocking. In one-on-one pass rushing drills, he came up against Barmore. Good luck, buddy. He might just be a second-year guy, but he's a damn good interior rusher. Barmore basically took the rookie and walked him straight back. His second and final rep of one-on-ones was against Henry Anderson, and an old pro like Henry Anderson kind of went outside, then went inside, and Cole Strange totally hooked him and held him. I also noticed a few more holds in some of the team stuff. That's another, not a red flag, but a concern of Cole Strange, that he can get grabby. So, not exactly the best start for him. It was good to see Jabril Peppers, Jonathan Jones, and Miles Bryant all back on the field. We did get our first one-on-ones in practice, and which you guys know I love. Get on the binoculars. It's hard to keep track of it correctly, and some of my numbers might not be right. But as far as offensive line, I had Arlington Hambright. I'm sure you guys all know who that is, as 2-0 on offense. Justin Huron was 2-0-1. I thought he looked really good today. Michael Winu and Cody Rusey, the UDFA, and Drew Desjardins, the CFL guy, all 1-0 each. Cole Strange was the only 0-2 offensive lineman. The only other one to lose all of his reps was Bill Murray, the converted defensive tackle. Of course, Cole Strange is going up against Christian Barmore and Henry Anderson. It's not like it's Scrubville or anything like that. As far as the defense, Mac Wilson all of a sudden was a very surprise. It was surprise entry into the edge guys. I didn't know he really does that, but he came out and he beat Yadi Kajus decisively. I thought Godchow looked really good. Barmore went 1-1. And what else? Yasir Durant pummeled Ronnie Perkins, who's much smaller than him. Judon and Wynn fought to a draw to start the drill, and Brown gave up 0 ground to Judon later. None of the young edge guys really popped for me. You can read my 4 up and 2 down on BostonSportsJournal.com. A little tease there. But I will say that I thought Tyquan Thornton had a good day, had a couple of contested catches against Jawan Williams, who isn't exactly Deion Sanders. But, hey, tough physical matchup for the, skinny rookie. And, he did a good job today. I did not think that David Andrews had a great day. If you asked me, I don't know this for a fact, but the way he's looked today, I don't know. I would reason to guess that David Andrews is not a huge fan of what they're doing in the run game and changing the blocking. I don't know that. A play of the day for me, along with everybody, because there weren't many good ones, was Devontae Parker did a double move, burned Malcolm Butler, and Mac Jones hit him for a touchdown. Pretty play. Leads to some concerns about Malcolm Butler, who's awesome in the red zone, who had 2 pass breakups, and was good in the red zone last week. You wonder, can he do that from 20s to 20s in the game? I think that's a concern, and we'll need to see how that evolves. So I think that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Really appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out athleticgreens.com/Bedard. Go over there, check it out. Trust me, the reviews are legit. It's all legit. I take it. It's great. We will see you tomorrow.